Hello students, and welcome to the Power of Trade and Comparative Advantage. I'm actually going to run you through figures 2.1, 2.2, and tables 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. 2.2 and 2.3 I kind of put together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the production possibilities frontier, which is similar to the ones that you've seen before, except these will be straight lines to keep things simple. Okay, what that will give us is a constant opportunity cost associated with the slope of each production possibilities frontier for two countries, Mexico and the US. Okay, now what I want to do is draw these production possibilities frontiers out. Okay, so Mexico with its factors of production, its labor, its capital, its entrepreneurability, and technical know-how, can produce 1 unit of computers up to 2 units of computers, okay, and up to 12 shirts. And so we will connect what is possible if all the resources of Mexico go towards making computers with what what Mexico can produce and consume if it devotes all of its resources and technology to making shirts. All right. Okay. And what they decide is they can't just live on all computers and all shirts. They want a combination in between. They'd like to have as many shirts and computers as possible, but anything beyond the production possibilities frontier is not possible. And anything inside the production possibilities frontier would be inefficient. You'd be leaving resources and technology unused. And so they choose to make 1 computer and 6 shirts. And the slope of this line is actually equal to -1/6, okay? So for Mexico, the opportunity cost of obtaining 1 computer is the next best alternative, which you give up. In this case, to go from 0 computers to 1 computer is going to take them from 12 shirts down to 6 shirts. So 1 computer is going to cost them 6 shirts. Okay? And if they make 1 shirt from this point, if you could somehow break this up, it would cost them 1/6 of a computer. Okay, so you can see how the opportunity cost of making a shirt is related to the slope of the production possibilities frontier. Okay. All right, now let's turn our attention to the United States. The United States is a bigger country. They've got more people, they've got more capital, and they got more entrepreneurs, and they've got better technology. Okay, and so with that, they have what is known as an absolute advantage in both computers and shirts, which means they can produce more computers in Mexico, and they can produce more shirts in Mexico. And so they can produce a maximum of 24 computers if they devote all the resources to computers, or 24 shirts if they devote all their resources to shirts. And so if you connect these 2 maximums, you're going to get the straight line for our production possibilities frontier. And they decide to consume an even split of 12 computers and 12 shirts. Although the United States would like more computers and more shirts, again, bundles of shirts and computers outside of this production possibilities frontier is not attainable and bundles inside this production possibilities frontier is inefficient. Okay. All right, so what's the opportunity cost? Well, if you look at the slope here, you can see that the slope is -1. Okay. And so for the United States, one computer, if they go from 24 shirts and 0 computers to 23 shirts and 1 computer, you can see that the opportunity cost is 1. And the opportunity cost of 1 shirt would be 1 computer. Okay, so you can see that the slope of the production possibilities frontier, its magnitude is equal to the opportunity cost of increasing the x-axis good there. So it's just shown here and here. Okay. All right. So what is their consumption? Well, their consumption before specialization and trade would be that Mexico would have 1 computer and 6 shirts, okay? And the United States would have 12 computers and 12 shirts. Now, if they choose to specialize in either computers or shirts and then trade with the other country, they might actually be able to consume beyond what they can produce. Okay, so they're still limited by their production possibilities frontier in terms of what they produce, but because of trade, they're not as limited by what they can consume. Okay, so this is the power of specialization and trade. Okay, now the question remains is, what good should each country specialize in? Okay, well, the country should specialize in the good for which it has the lowest opportunity cost of producing. So they don't necessarily have to be the best at producing that good. In fact, the United States is better at producing computers and shirts. But Mexico might have a lower opportunity cost of producing one of those two goods. So I want you to think about which that is. Okay. All right, so if you look at this chart here, the opportunity cost of 1 computer is 6 shirts. Okay. But the opportunity cost of a shirt, okay, is 1/6. Okay, now the problem is you have these scales here. So one thing you might want to think is you want to do it in comparison with the other country. Okay, so which of the countries has a lower opportunity cost in producing computers? The United States. Okay. And which country has a lower opportunity cost of producing a shirt? Mexico. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Mexico specialize in shirts, and we're going to have the United States specialize in computers. Okay. All right, so with that, we have to come up with a terms of trade that is mutually beneficial for both countries that are trading. Okay? And the basic rule is that the terms of trade have to lie in between the opportunity costs of the two countries. Okay? So in between here, we have Mexico has an opportunity cost of having to give up 6 shirts to get 1 computer. So if it can trade with the US and get a computer for less shirts than 6, they're better off. Okay? And the United States, if they want to get 1 shirt, they have to give up 1 computer. So if they can give up 1 less computer, less than one computer to get a shirt, then they're better off as well. So we have to have a terms of trade, a TOT, which I'm going to put, let's put it right in the middle here. So terms of trade, or TOT. Okay. And our terms of trade is going to be one computer equals 3 t-shirts. Okay. So that's our terms of trade. Okay, so since the Mexico produces less than the United States, we should start with Mexico and see how many shirts that they want to trade with the U.S. Okay. So under this terms of trade, okay, they can get more than before. Okay, suppose they want to get 9 shirts and 1 computer. Okay, so in that case, they're going to trade 3 of their t-shirts for 1 of their computer, for 1 of the United States computers here. And so what I want to do is show you that here. And so this point right here is 1 computer and 9 shirts. Okay. So after specialization and trade, Mexico still has the 1 computer, but they also get to keep 3 of their shirts.